your American dream?
I come from Myanmar. The American dream to me is to be able to start my own business one day.
I am from Texas. My family is from Guatemala. My American dream is pursuing happiness while also having stability.
I'm from Connecticut. My American dream is to fight for justice and to scream for the voiceless.
I'm from the former Soviet Union, which is now known as Russia. The American dream to me, despite being an immigrant, means to give the opportunities and dreams to my children the same way that my family gave to me.
I'm from China. My American dream is to be a fashion designer in New York because I love fashion so much.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Everyone deserves the American dream. Hence the reason why we have the Brad and Squeeze show each and every single weekday at 9 a.m. and 12 noon. And it comes your way by way of what we do in the show with answering your immigration questions, dealing with the capacity of law in other areas at the law offices of Spar, Bernstein, with this wonderful, good-looking guy, David Squeeze Annakie from the Link Up Media Group of Companies, and the attorney, Bradford H. Bernstein, from the law offices of Spar, Bernstein. You ready to rock and roll, man? You got a smug on your face. And we're on 93.5 FM and the Brad and Squeeze page.
Because nobody prepares this studio properly. So I'm upset right now.
What?
Nobody prepares the studio properly.
What?
Nope.
What?
Mm-hmm. I have some work I have to do here on my computer so I can watch the show now.
You know, I'm looking at you.
Nobody brought me an iPad. There's no iPad here.
Let me ask you something.
It's amazing.
Let me ask you something.
It's amazing. Mm-hmm.
How you feeling?
I feel that I end up having to remind everybody about everything. So I'm annoyed right now. But let's answer immigration questions because I can't see anything that we see on the show anyway. So I can't talk about anything. Let's go to Jay. Jay, how are you? Immigration questions. I don't feel like shooting the breeze today, Squeeze. Jay, how are you?
Hey, Jay, what's up, man?
Hi, Brad. How are you?
How are you?
Brad needs a hug, Jay.
Jay,
Brad needs a hug.
Jay, are you with Jay? I need more than a hug right now.
He needs a hug.
It's very frustrating, Jay, that I got to remember everything in this entire place here. Jay, how are you?
He's yelling so his production team can hear.
No. One individual who I will talk to when we do the social media check-in. Yes, Jay, how are you?
Okay, I'm doing good, and I want to say hello to everybody, who listening. Squeeze,
Yes.
Big up yourself.
Thank you so much. I love it when they do that.
What's going on, Jay?
What's up, Jay?
All right, so I have a question, Brad.
Yes.
I'm filing for my adopted son. I was living in Jamaica. I'm a green card holder, and I was living in Jamaica with him.
Uh-huh.
I adopted him from my daughter.
Right.
And so I have the child at my home from he was born. However, I have legal paper with him from Jamaica now. I live in the U.S. because my daughter in the U.S. filed for me, and I'm here, so I want to start a process for him. However, I started.
I'm lost on your call. Let's start again. You want to file for who? Your adopted child?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you do this adoption?
In Jamaica.
And where is this child now?
In Jamaica.
Did you ever live with this child?
I have him from birth.
Not have him from birth. Did you live in the same house as this child ever in your lifetime?
Yes.
When?
From the child born from 2001.
When did you come to the United States?
Last year.
You came last year?
Last year.
Okay.
Yes.
And when did this adoption completed? When was this adoption completed?
In January.
In January. It was
of last year.
January of 2016.
16.
Okay.
Yes.
So you need to. Where are the parents of this child?
It's in England.
Oh, okay.
But
how old is this child now?
The child is 17.
So you completed the adoption before the 16th birthday, right?
He completed the adoption before 15th birthday.
Okay.
Before 16th birthday.
Before 16th birthday. And what is your status here? Are you a citizen or a resident?
I'm a green card holder.
How did you get your green card?
To my daughter.
How long have you had your green card?
I have my green card since 2016.
All right. Well, you cannot file a visa petition for this child unless you can prove you lived in the same household with them for 2 years, which it sounds like you did, and the adoption happened before 16, which it did, and you had legal guardianship of this child for 2 years because you didn't do it as an orphan petition, and you can't do it as an orphan petition because you're not a citizen. Now, generally speaking, unless you went to a court years and years ago, legal guardianship starts at the same time the adoption starts.
Right, generally.
So in January, so you did finish the adoption January of 2016, which means you can't file for this child until 2 years from the date of the adoption. So sometime in January 2018, you can file for this child. The child will be in the F2A category. It'll take about a year and a half or so to get this child here, but you want to do it before the kid obviously ages out and gets to 21. So we can help you with this, but you have a lot of hurdles to overcome. You got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, or certainly by the preponderance of the evidence, that you and the child live together.
Right.
You know, it's funny with immigration.
Yeah.
I say beyond a reasonable doubt. That's a criminal standard, and the legal standard in a civil case, such as immigration, is preponderance of the evidence, meaning that 51% of the evidence says it's true, and 49% says it's not true. Under the legal standard that immigration is supposed to follow, they're supposed to approve your case. I'm going off track here, but just
I know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm with you.
All right. But generally, immigration, if your 51% says something is real and 49% says it's false, they'll say, sorry, can't help you.
Right.
So really, so you have to prove really beyond a reasonable doubt that you lived with this child for 2 years, and obviously the adoption decree covers any legal doubt on the adoption and legal guardianship.
So in other words, Brad, what you're saying, I cannot go ahead and file for him now because I have all legal paper from the court.
You cannot file for the child unless you had legal guardianship of that child for 2 years preceding the filing.
Yes, I do.
You did not have legal, unless you, do you have a court? Well, let me say this. I don't want to say you don't, but I would say generally speaking, for every time I've met somebody from Jamaica who did an adoption, they never had a legal document from a judge in Jamaica that says that you were the legal guardian of this child. They may have letters from a mother in England saying, please take care of my kid. I give you legal guardianship. That's not legal guardianship.
Did you ask her if she has something from the court?
You got something from the court.
But what happened? I have all legal guardianship from the court.
Do you have something from the court?
You have something from the court?
Yes, but the adoption was completed.
Okay. All right, well, we'll take a look at it. If she does, then we can file now.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I have that, can I go ahead and file for him?
Yes.
Okay.
And by the way...
On the application
but one second. Let me just make something clear here. You went to a court prior to the adoption, and you have something from the court back in the day that says you're the legal guardian of this child, and then years later you went and did an adoption? Is that what you're telling me?
It was done by the Child in the Development Agency.
One second. Is that what you're telling me? Do you have that document?
Yes, I have that document.
Then yes, you can file. Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second.
I was just about to say she should actually do this with you.
Yes.
The law office of Spar, Bernstein.
Yes, all right. So we have somebody in Brunswick, Georgia. Brunswick, Georgia, how are you? Do you know where Brunswick, Georgia is? David, I know where Brunswick, Georgia is.
I know where David is.
Yeah, he's right on the Atlantic Ocean by Jekyll Island, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep, I know my Georgia.
Yeah, you sure do.
I know it.
That's good.
Yep, Jekyll Island's beautiful over there. Yep.
Georgia.
All right, so what's going on, David?
Okay, Mike, good afternoon to you both.
Thank you.
My question is, my pastor had filed an I-360 form, but it was recently has been denied. So she don't know where to turn or where to go.
Why was it denied? Why was it denied?
Evidence.
Because of what?
Insufficient evidence.
All right, well, we don't know what you got to prove to be a religious worker is that you're being, I don't know what the insufficient evidence was. I mean, it could be, there's a million.
Like the 501c.
You got to prove it's a nonprofit religious organization. You got to prove that you have worked in a religious capacity for 2 years preceding the filing. You have to show that this is your life's work and that you're not just a dedicated member of the church, but you are a religious worker who was educated in the religious doctrines, and this is your life calling.
Yes, that all of that was done.
But it wasn't done. Obviously, part of it wasn't done because you got denied. We don't know what it was. So what I think,
The 501c, the determination letter, we got it from the daughter church, but they didn't amend the 501c.
You are either a 501c tax exempt religious organization or you are not. It's one of the other. So hold one second. We're not going to figure this out. I mean, we're having a discussion about a arcane tax document. We would need to take a look at it. Hold on one second.
Brad, you seem a little bit short.
Yes.
Okay. In stature or in delivery?
Both. James, Bronx, New York. How are you?
1-800-529-5465. Welcome to the Brad and Squeeze Show, James. James.
Yes, good afternoon.
James.
Good afternoon.
James, let me be short and curt with you as well.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes,
Good afternoon,
sir. And thank you for calling, because without you, there would be no us.
Hey, Squeeze. You ever earned the name Squeeze, you know? Congratulations. Congratulations. You do a good job on your brother.
So does Brad.
You see, I do a good job. The only one who's noticing that I am short and curt is Squeeze. But he has to point it out to everybody.
Even a little comedy or a little comic.
That's right. A little comic relief. What's going on?
So what's up, James?
I'm filing for my mom, right? Now, is there a set amount of money I have to have in my bank account to file, or I have to earn a certain amount which is above the poverty?
It's earn a certain amount which is 125% above the poverty level, and you'll say, well, what's that amount? It depends on how many people are dependent on you.
Okay, so it's just me and my wife, and we both work, say, $20,000 each.
Then you're
Would
fine.
that be?
Then you're fine.
Whoa, okay. So what's the magic number of the poverty line if you're just single? Like
you can Google it. Google knows everything. Okay, so what I will do, because I don't remember the exact amounts, but I know 40,000 is good. Affidavit of support, poverty guidelines. This is what we do here. And as we Google it, let's see. Here it is. And special instructions. You just go to USCIS. Let's see if I can pull it up quickly here. There's no. Here we are.
And as you say, I say,
It's very exciting for me to look at this. All right, so for a family of two people, so that would be you and your mom, being a single person. It's $20,300. If your income is below $20,300, then you include your wife's income as part of the household. Then you're a family of three, then you're $25,525. Now, if you and your wife file a joint tax return, then you're going to have to include her, because you're not going to be able to split up whose income was whose unless you start showing W-2s. But they're going to still ask for the wife then to sign.
Okay, so you said that including the wife, it's what, 25 what?
25,525.
25,525.
Yes.
Okay, so if I earn over 21,000, I'm good to do it all by myself.
Correct, as long as you don't have a joint tax return with your wife. Because if you have a joint tax return with your wife, then she's going to have to sign the I-864A.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it. And keep up the great work.
Thank you.
It's real information, and we need it.
Let me ask you a question, James, and I appreciate all your kind words. Was I curt with you, or did I give you a full answer?
No, you were okay.
I'm starting to warm up a little bit as the show's going on.
You're getting better, Brad.
You did good.
I did good. You
even went and looked at it.
I even Googled it for him.
I agree with James.
Come on.
You were not curt
for him.
You were not curt with
I was not curt.
You know, you did pretty good, Brad.
All right. Let's go. Thank you, James.
Thanks a lot.
As I just hung up on him by mistake.
And I just want to remind everybody that this is the most important thing about the show is this: 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. You need that number. Why? Immigration, criminal defense, personal injury, family law, tax law, and short and curt.
Short and curt.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's what I've been told that many times.
I'm quite sure you have.
I am short and curt.
Okay, were you told that yesterday? I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get back to the call.
I got to think about my whole day yesterday. Let's see. I started off on the show here. No, I was not called short and curt yesterday. I was called short yesterday, but not curt.
Okay.
I was called short and Brad, but bum. All right.
Boom, boom.
Let's go to Carol in Queens.
All right. Carol in Queens, how are you?
Hello.
Carol in Queens, how are you?
Yes. Okay. And you?
I am a little
Short and curt.
Short and curt today. But I'll get through it.
Okay.
She doesn't seem to care. She doesn't seem to care.
Thank you so much. Yeah. She's like, I don't care about you and your curt. Answer my question.
I was just being polite and asking, but I really didn't care for your answer.
Just answer my question.
Yeah.
What's your question?
What's your question, Carol?
My son married to a girl, but she's in Florida, but she want to know if she could file for a green card for both of us.
No. Your daughter-in-law cannot file for you. Only a son who's a U.S. citizen can file for you.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But you know what you should do, Carol?
What should she
Sounds
do?
like Carol needs a green card.
Okay.
So just because I said no, the daughter-in-law can't file doesn't mean all hope is lost for Carol. And, she should make an appointment to come in to see what other options she may have.
Right.
You never know. You never know. Hold on. Right?
Very important. I always say that everyone who calls here actually should, I always say everyone should actually do a consultation. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, we have the capability.
We have
the $6 million man.
Yes.
We have the capability.
Yes. That was my favorite
Faster.
show. My favorite
stronger.
show. And my favorite part of the show is when the bionic woman would come and it would be the bionic man. It was the bionic man and the bionic woman together.
Yeah. That and Knight Rider.
Knight Rider was cool too.
Knight Rider,
he had that car. He's very famous in Germany, David Hasselhoff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like the most famous guy in Germany. Very, very famous. Germans love David Hasselhoff. I don't know why, but they love him.
A name like
Well, I guess he's German ancestry, so I guess that's why, maybe. Right?
Maybe.
I guess. I don't know what the love affair is, but they love David Hasselhoff there. I do know that.
1-800-529-5465. 21 minutes after the hour 12. Who told you that?
Jill and I had that discussion once about David Hasselhoff. Yeah. Yeah, they love him in Germany and also in Jill's household. I don't know why also. But she loves David Hasselhoff. What can I tell you?
Anyway.
All right, let's go to Patrick in Queens.
Patrick in Queens. What's up?
Jill's like, I'm making that up.
I'm calling from my wife in Jamaica.
Yeah. What's
Patrick.
What kind of information do I need to bring into you guys?
For what?
For a visa.
For a visa?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't know what we're doing for you. So the information that you need to bring in is yourself and perhaps your passport that you entered America with. After that, we would sit down and talk and go from there. And any documents. Hold on one second. This is not. You need to speak to somebody off the air to get all that information. It's not how much is the fee? It's $100 for a consultation with me. It's $100 for associate, $200 for me.
Okay.
So
I think that's fair.
You can pick. Okay, but all of that is off the air conversation. We're here to help people.
1-800-529-5465. All right.
Kyle in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Actually, it's Kylie.
Kylie. I like Kylie.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
Good.
You sound so
How
happy,
are you,
Kylie.
That one happy person.
Actually, I was listening to you the other day when you said that you were actually opening a new office here in Connecticut, and I was excited. But I'm like, dang. Why didn't he bring one to Waterbury? Because there's like one immigration lawyer here, and you can never get through to him.
How far are you? How far? We're going to be in Hartford. on Congress
Yeah,
Street.
but that's like 45 minutes away.
But that's better than being in New York City, which is 2 hours away, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's
the
like a
reason,
minute-
and the
yeah.
reason, the reason why we picked Hartford is because that's where the immigration office is. So we're literally a block away from the immigration office, so our attorneys can see people who live in Connecticut and also be able to go back and forth to the immigration office very quickly, because if they were in Waterbury, then they would have to drive 45 minutes to immigration every day back and forth, and that would take them out of the office for too long. So, so that was the thinking. That was the thinking. Maybe our thinking was incorrect, but what do you want me to do?
Can't you do like 2? I know you and Brad have it in you, like you and Squeeze, like you guys could.
So you want us to do Waterbury too? Okay.
Yes, because there's like one lawyer here.
How big is your apartment or home? Can we get some space there? And then maybe Kylie wouldn't even have to travel outside of her home to see her lawyer. Can you imagine the lawyer is in Kylie's home every day?
I told you what to do. Get in the van.
Squeeze.
I told you that. Nobody listens to
You need to
Squeeze.
stop him.
You know?
Squeeze wants me to get a Spar and Bernstein RV.
I told you.
Okay, and drive around Connecticut, town to town, and just meet people in the back of a van.
Just like how you got the DMV does it. The DMV shows up in certain small towns. You know, with the
Would you want
RV.
to go to a
You know,
lawyer?
Connecticut does
Would you
that.
want to go to a lawyer like you're like, oh yeah, where'd you meet your lawyer? I meet the lawyer in the back of his van. I don't think that would be,
Look, the Department of Motor Vehicle in Connecticut does it. They have a van that comes to Greenwich, Connecticut.
That's ridiculous. Okay, Kylie, what's your question?
Okay, so I actually called you before, and I was telling you that I did get into some trouble. I was arrested for fighting. Because there was kids around when I got into the fight. It was third-degree assault.
Right.
When I got into the fight in my home, they also slapped me with an automatic charge of risk of injury to a minor, which is kind of a felony. They say a Class B felony.
Right.
But all the charges were dismissed. I did go out of the country twice and came back, and they gave me a little bit of hassle. But my concern is, I want to go do my citizenship soon.
How long ago was this incident?
This happened in 2012.
When was the charges dismissed against you?
Not 1 second, but I did have a thing against me where it says no contact with the victim, and that ended in 2014.
Okay. But do you know when the case was dismissed against you?
All right, 1 second. Give me one quick second.
I'll tell you the answer. Okay, you need to have 5 years good moral character. All right, and this, my thing is falling out of my ear. And this happened in 2012. So we're at the 5-year mark from the time you got arrested. But if you really want to be able to show good moral character, we file your citizenship 5 years from the date that case was dismissed against you. So if it was dismissed towards the end of 2012, then we're 5 years. If it was dismissed in 2013, then I would suggest we wait a few more months before filing, because we're either at that 5-year mark or very close to it.
Okay, Brad, so I want to come down to see you, and I want to see you, nobody else. I don't really care for anybody else.
So you don't mind. So you're one of the ones who don't mind spending the $200 for Brad.
No, absolutely not.
Hold on 1 second.
You know what?
What?
You know me?
What?
If I were listening to this show, not that I want to overwork you or get you overworked, but if I were listening to this show on the outside, and I hear you, as much I know the other attorneys,
they're all going to say the same thing.
They're all good and they're going to say the same thing. But the fact that I get to meet Brad Bernstein and joke about with you and hang with you and know that you're the man, I'd want to meet with you.
Thanks, Squeeze.
Okay?
Yes.
I'll pay the extra $100. You're worth it. What? I'm telling the truth. 1-800-529-5465. Brad!
Let's go to Linda.
And then we'll go to the social media queen.
Yes. Brooklyn in Linden, New Jersey. Oh, it's Brooklyn in Linden.
You're butchering everything today.
It says Linda in Brooklyn, but it's Brooklyn in Linden, New Jersey.
Everything today.
That's right.
That's right. Brooklyn in Linden, New Jersey. How are you, Brooklyn?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
Good. What's going on? Did you ever live in Brooklyn?
Yes.
So like if we mailed you an envelope, it would be like Brooklyn, New York?
Brooklyn, New York. That's right.
Funny. All right, what's your question?
My boyfriend is trying to file for his citizenship. And he's trying to file for his son also. Now, his son is not 18 years old as yet. But his son, mom's file the tax returns for him. Is that going to be okay for him to just go ahead and file for the citizenship without any problems?
What do you mean the mom filed the tax returns?
The child lives with his mom, and the mom files for the tax return.
The child is a dependent on the mom's taxes. As long as your boyfriend can show, it has nothing to do with who the child's a dependent on, because you can only be a dependent on one tax return. Okay, so for example, I'll give you a perfect example. My ex-wife puts my kids as dependents on her tax returns. Even though I'm still a good father, I still take care of them, I still see them. All you got to do is come in with, some document to show that you're paying child support, or a letter from the mom saying he's a good dad or something like that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show, live at 9, live at noon.
There it is, sharing my personal tax information, Squeeze, for the help of others.
Donald Trump, did he share his?
No, I've shared more than Donald Trump.
Hey.
Right.
So what I'm saying right now is I want everyone to take 10 seconds right now and just like the page Brad and Squeeze. All right? I know you may be on another page, but like the Brad and Squeeze page. Follow the page also. We want to get our likes up. We want to get the followers up. This is the page. This is the only page that we're going to be on ultimately. We're not going to be on any other page, so you want to like it. Right, Brad?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, let's find social media queen.
Social media queen.
Social media. There you are. Hello.
There she is.
Hello. She made a huge comeback with me at about 10 minutes after 12.
Kim.
By delivering the iPad.
Kim.
Wasn't even me.
Right. Yeah. Huge comeback.
You need a tan.
I need a tan?
Yeah.
I think you need to send me to Jamaica is the answer, Squeeze.
Oh, I was saying the acronym, Take Action Now.
Damn, I was really hoping I was going to get a free trip to Jamaica out of this.
I'm just messing with you, Kim. I love
I like
you.
that. Take action now. I never heard
Take action
that one.
now.
That's a good one. All right, I like that one. That's a good one. All right, Kim, take action now.
Rapid fire.
All
No
right,
pause.
right. Kim's like,
no pause.
Kim's like, I am taking action. I'm going to the beach, and I'm going where it's warm. I'll see you next week.
Let's do this.
I'll take action right now. Right. On an airplane. All right. So what questions you have for? Let's just fire them off. Let's see how quick this guy can be, because he's short and curt, but that's gone now.
Let's go.
Right.
Tanisha wants to know, how long after biometrics do you get the work permit?
Well, it should be 90 days from the time you file. The biometric should be about 6 weeks after you file. But immigration's taking over 4 months now from the time of filing. So you figure about 2.5 months from the biometric.
Next.
Clunas would like to know, if a U.S. citizen files for his or her child, can the child of that child be entitled to follow to join?
As long as it's a parent filing for a child, if the child is under 21, that child's an immediate relative. And if you are listening to the 9 o'clock show, you cannot include immediate relatives as derivatives of immediate relatives. However, if the parent is filing for a son or daughter, which is somebody over the age of 21, then the petitioner's grandchildren would be included as a derivative.
Next.
Okay. Glacia would like to know, I was asking this question earlier, can a sex offender file for their spouse for a green card?
Yes, but there's something called the Adam Walsh Act, which never, ever, ever, ever works out in favor of the sex offender, because the sex offender has to file a waiver to prove that the spouse is not in danger of any further sex offense by a sex offender. And the way the Immigration Service looks at it is not preponderance of the evidence, but beyond a reasonable doubt. And nobody, not even the best psychiatrist in the world, can write a letter and say 100% guarantee somebody who is a sex offender before will never commit a sex offense act again. The best you could possibly say from the best psychiatrist in the world as evidence of this is this person has been in therapy for 20, 30, 40 years, has been a person of perfect, good moral character, and it is my belief that that it is extraordinarily unlikely that they will do anything, but they can never give 100%, and because they can't give 100%, immigration will never approve the Adam Walsh waiver until you go into federal court, and it's a whole mess, so it's very hard to do, but the answer is yes, you can do it, but almost impossible.
1-800-529-5465. 1-800.
I'm out of breath.
Come up for air, Brad. Come up for air, Brad. Woo. All right.
Let me have some
Sherry.
coffee.
Need some scuba gear?
What?
You need some scuba gear?
I don't need some scuba gear.
Right.
You know what would be great to Squeeze? Because Squeeze says I don't do this fast enough.
What, come up for air?
No. Squeeze should, every time I ask the question, Squeeze should just come over and hold my nose, okay? and then he just holds my nose.
I'm not holding any part of your anatomy.
He doesn't let go of my nose until I'm done answering. I would have to finish the answer in about 10 seconds.
I am not holding any part of your anatomy.
It's my nose.
Next question,
it's my
please.
Nose. I didn't tell you to hold any part of my anatomy.
That's a part of it. Okay, next question. All right, I'm not holding any part of you, man.
All right. Next question.
Sherry wants to know.
Are you going to be bleeding today also?
Sherry wants to know, I'm doing an affidavit of support. Why do I need to send my passport and not a copy plus the transcripts instead of the tax returns?
Because the tax returns could be made up. Anyone can print out a tax return and say, this is my taxes. Okay? So you could print out a tax return and say, I earned $2 million. It's unverifiable.
Right.
The tax transcripts are verifiable from the IRS.
Right. There's a form that you can fill out to get that also.
Amanda would like to know, can I file for my stepdad? He was married to my mom since I was 7. They're now divorced, but he's raised me since I was 1. What do I need to do?
Yes, you can, as long as that relationship happened before the 18th birthday, which it did, and you can demonstrate, despite the divorce, that this man and you had a bona fide parent-child relationship. Even though he's your stepdad, you're still entitled to file for him. He's an immediate relative. As long as you're a citizen, he can certainly get his green card in under a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
You were not expecting it. You thought I was going to say no.
Yeah, I was certain of it.
I was surprised you were
yeah.
The answer is yes.
Excellent.
Deborah would like to know, how long after a U.S. citizen filed for bankruptcy can they file for their mom from Jamaica? Or does that matter at all as long as you're now meeting the income guidelines?
It doesn't matter. You can file for as many people as you want as long as you meet the income guidelines.
Okay. 1-800-LAWLINK.
Tanette wants to know, can a father who's a green card holder and not working file for his daughter in Jamaica?
Yes, but he'll need an affidavit of support from someone else down the line.
Andrienne would like to know, can a person file his or her documents without a lawyer, and where can the documents be collected if they can?
You can file anything you want without a lawyer. You can fix your car. You don't need a mechanic. You can bake your own bread. You don't need to go to a bakery. Mm-hmm. You can fix your own washing machine. You don't need the Maytear repairman. Mm-hmm. You can operate on yourself, open heart surgery. It'll hurt, but you can do it. Mm-hmm. But usually you go to people who know more than you, who do this every day, in and out, to make. And by the way, it's not like immigration's unimportant in your life. If it's not like the most important thing in your life, period. You screw it up, you get deported, you never get to live here ever. Yeah. And why do people say, this is the most important thing in my entire life, is making my American dream, getting my green card, and what I'm going to do for the most important thing, the number one priority in my life, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try to do it all on my own, never having done it before, and just, take a guess that I'm doing it right.
You know what, Brad?
Wing it.
Wing it.
You know what, Brad and Kim? It reminds me of some of the people, a small percentage of the people I speak with that call USA Credit Repair. Oh, I can do this myself. I see it on the website.
Go knock yourself out.
Okay, go do whatever you want to do.
Why can't they do it?
But if you muck it up, it probably will be permanently
Let's talk about this a second, Kim. Let's transition into our USA Credit Repair.
I want Kim to do the rest of the question.
No, we can, because we got
a lot of people muck it up.
We got a lot of things to cover today.
All right, no problem.
So let's talk about USA Credit Repair for a second, okay? Kim, you hang out with us for a second.
Hang
Give us
out,
your
yeah,
thoughts.
hang out.
Okay?
I'll chill
so
here.
USA Credit Repair.
Yes.
Okay. How do people muck it up by doing it themselves?
Well, listen.
Because I can tell you all the ways that people muck it up with immigration. Oh, Squeeze. You know, it's very funny. USA Credit Repair. Squeeze like, I'm taking the glasses off for this one. Boom.
Yeah, I'm serious. I get very passionate about this. You know,
he's like, the glasses are coming off. It's USA Credit.
The gloves are coming off. I'm like, you know, people, I can do this myself. I'm like, listen, Jesus Christ, you want to go operate on your own heart? Many people out there said, okay, I have.
So how do they muck it up by doing it themselves when they call you?
Because they do not know what to talk with the bureau is about, what to write to the bureau is about. For example, let's say that you have a tax lien on your credit. How do you get it off?
I don't know. I don't have the slightest
I'm asking you, how do you get it off?
I don't have the slightest
exactly.
idea.
So you know what? They write to the tax bureaus, to the bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, asking them just to remove it.
Yeah.
That doesn't get it removed.
No.
You've got to come up with reasons why it should be removed.
Why it should be removed. It's an error.
Exactly.
It's wrong.
Okay, and we do a complete forensic audit of that file just to see everything, and there are
When you
always
say
errors.
forensic, what does that actually mean?
It means,
it's a fancy word.
Okay.
But what does it mean when you say I'm forensic?
It means that we do a complete audit of that file. For example, let's
Yes,
go to,
give me an example.
Let me give you a perfect example.
Perfect example.
Collection agency.
Collection
Let's say you owe Macy's $50 or $100, right?
$50.
You didn't pay it, right?
I didn't pay it.
So guess what?
How dare you accuse me of
Macy's
that?
sold a debt to a collection agency called Kim Moore.
Kim Moore?
Kim Moore takes that collection of $100, and she start coming after you for collecting it.
She call you every day. Excuse me, Mr. Annakie, I understand you owe $100, and Mr. Annakie goes,
Exactly.
click.
And then she puts it on your credit report.
Right.
Macy's got it on your credit report. Collection agency got it on your
So now it's on twice.
It's on twice.
Twice?
Now, guess what?
That's not fair, Kim.
The first one that's going to...
That's not fair.
The first one...
Sorry,
that is not fair, Kim.
The first one that's going to come off is a collection. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because Macy's cannot give the collection agency all of your information. By law, they can't.
Why?
Because there's certain information in there which could be considered...
Give me one thing
breach.
that they can't, that's a breach that Macy's does.
They're not supposed to give them your Social Security number.
Aha!
You see what I'm saying? They're not supposed to give it to the collection agency. It's
And they
against the
did.
law. And do they do it? I don't know if they do it.
We're not saying Macy's because I don't want Macy's to come in. We're just giving that as an example.
Hypothetically.
All right, let's just make sure that we're
So
clear on that
basically,
one.
As a
you gotta...
Macy's representative.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Macy's is like, excuse me, Mr. Bernstein, I hear you are talking some BS about Macy's.
Yeah, sir.
I'm like,
You know what?
I have
I'm
no
coming to
idea
get
what
you.
Macy's does.
So guess what? USA
Yeah.
Credit Repair, knowing exactly what to do with that collection agency, and the majority of them are not licensed either.
All right, so why don't we do this, Kim?
Why don't they
All
just
right?
call up...
Instead of taking those harassing calls from Kim Moore Collection Agency, you should be
sounds cool.
calling USA.
That sounds cool.
Right, you should be because she wants more and more of your money.
Kim Moore.
You should be calling.
will get you more.
You should be calling USA Credit Repair.
What's the number?
At 1-800-872-7177. You don't try to do it by yourself.
No,
you
don't.
heard
Don't.
Squeeze
You got him on
without
camera.
his glasses on, and now that the USA Credit Repair segment is over, his glasses are back on his face. But you heard him when he took his glasses off that nobody should be doing this on their own. So call USA Credit Repair right now, 1-800-872-7177, 1-800-872-7177. Kim, thank you very much. I want to talk about.
Kim doesn't have more questions?
No, because we have
You're done?
we have a lot to get through. We have Jacob Hudner coming in.
Oh, we do.
And we have Rebecca coming in. So we want to talk about all of this. By the way, while we wait for Jacob to get settled, I believe Jacob is first. While we wait for Jacob to get settled, did you check out the Christmas holiday ornaments, holiday decorations at the White House? Did you see that?
I heard about it yesterday.
Okay, did you see it?
I heard about it on this show yesterday.
It looks like something out of Tip. There it is. How is this Christmas? Squeeze. This looks like a horror show. Can you imagine? You go to the White House for Christmas. You're like, ah! What is this? Let me out of here! There's an orange man and really scary decorations.
But
So the eerie twig-lined hallway for Christmas.
in his defense,
Yes. Yes.
that is appropriate for him
Uh-huh.
because he has been a very scary guy.
Yes.
You know?
The eerie twig-lined hallway got attention, highlighting that the White House definitely looks more frightening than merry, Squeeze. And Iris Ramon, here's a couple of tweets All right, here's a couple of tweets. Iris Ramon tweeted, "From light to darkness, an American horror story." Oh my God, look at that. Look at the Obama White House versus the, I mean, is that ironic or what? Is that ironic or what? Look how merry and happy the Obamas were. Is that crazy?
Wow.
All right, Nandy tweeted, "Glad she's understood the aesthetic of the long national nightmare we're in."
That's what I'm saying.
May Catalini on Twitter tweeted a Photoshop Netflix cover of the series Stranger Things. And some other person who I don't even know tweeted, "Come and play with us, Marin, from the film The Shining." Yeah. Oh my God. All right, so that is the hot.
It should be, come on down here. There's candy down here.
Yeah, that is the. All right, that is the White House Christmas.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that! It's a horror story. What's going on there in the White House? It's horror. And by the way,
it is horror.
And by the way, do you know what word is comes from the etymology of horror?
What?
Horrible. That is the most horrible Christmas holiday decorations I have ever seen in my life. So unfestive, so cold, so not happy. Basically summing up our political situation right now. It's quite ironic. All right, so we got Jacob Hudnut.
Jacob Hudnut, our criminal defense attorney.
Our criminal defense attorney. He's here.
One of them. Mm-hmm.
He's here to talk about drugs.
Hello.
Everybody's favorite subject when it comes to criminal defense, Jake. How are you? Drugs.
I'm good. How are you?
Drugs. It's serious stuff, drugs. In all seriousness, it is. So when somebody has drugs, and we're not even talking about marijuana, we're talking about all the other stuff. Okay?
Other stuff.
Yeah, whatever the other stuff is. Control, they call it in the criminal law. Controlled substances. Mm-hmm. Okay, or controlled and dangerous substances.
Controlled and dangerous.
Okay, so talk to us. How much time are people looking at for drugs, New York, and let's talk New Jersey as well?
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I want to talk about that folks find interesting and we defend people of all the time is possession with intent, where the prosecutor and the police allege that not only do you have drugs on you, but you have a plan to sell them.
How do they know that?
A lot of people are like, wait a minute, that's a thought crime.
Right.
So they
How'd
prove
you know
it,
I was going to be selling this stuff?
Yeah, this is how prosecutor.
Right.
This is how prosecutor proves it to a jury. They get an expert witness to go through the evidence, to go through the police report, the surrounding circumstances, and say, look, this person had money with them, so they were getting ready to do a sale. These drugs were packaged individually, so they must have been getting ready to do a sale. This is more than any one user would do, him or herself, so they must be getting ready to sell it or share it with other people. And if it's inside a house, they might say, look, here's some scales, here's some cut, and they're getting ready to repackage it and give it to other people.
Who would be this drug expert? Who is the expert Yeah, who is the drug expert? Like somebody who used to sell drugs, or somebody from the FBI?
No, quite often what they do is they get, and this is kind of where it gets a little incestuous. A prosecutor will simply get a police officer or detective who has experience in narcotics but isn't necessarily the officer on this particular case. So it's incestuous. One of the first things I do on cross-examination in this situation is I say, officer or detective, isn't it true that you're also employed by the same office as the prosecutor right here? And they say yes. It's basically just another cop who has done enough drug arrests to be able to give an expert opinion about what it means to be ready to sell drugs.
So you don't come back with your own expert to say, no, people who package it are basically smoking them individually. You just have to discredit this expert that comes on and testifies, right?
Yes, you can do some attorneys, depending on the facts, will get an expert to talk about what's called the Costco defense, saying, you know what, a certain user might have a high tolerance and buy a lot of drugs, or it's dangerous every time a person goes outside to buy drugs, so they might buy in bulk. But typically where my experience is and where a lot of this is won is on cross-examining the heck out of that state's expert witness.
I'm sorry, just so we can make it very clear. Okay, if you have, I would assume more than, any sort of quantity of drugs, more than probably just whatever somebody would be using for their own individual use, whatever that amount may be, for that particular hour on you, it is very possible that they can charge you with intent to distribute. What are the differences in jail times for intent to distribute versus possession? Because that's very significant.
Significantly more. For example, in New Jersey, where I've been practicing 8 years, in addition to joining the team over here in New York, simple possession is almost always a probationary sentence. And in fact, in New York and New Jersey both, simple possession is quite often a misdemeanor. But once you get into possession with intent, you're talking about a felony. And in New Jersey, and even in New York, sometimes they'll hit you with that possession with intent in school zone areas, which in an urban setting, it's very hard not to be close to a school. And so you're talking enhanced penalties there. So really the difference between, when you're on trial, the difference between possession and possession with intent are significant. It's the difference between walking out of the courthouse after a conviction or being sent upstate prison.
Right, up the river, being sent up the river. So you have some stories where I assume where people, and by the way, to reach Jake is the same number as it is to reach us here at Spar and Bernstein, and the telephone number is 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465, and you should have that number saved in your phone. You never know when you're going to be charged with a crime, when you're arrested. You're always in the wrong place at the wrong time when it happens, and you should always have a good criminal defense attorney at the ready, and have our telephone number saved at 1-800-529-5465. We handle all cases in New York and New Jersey, but if it's a federal case, we can actually go anywhere in all 50 states. But certainly have our telephone number saved. It's 1-800-529-5465. So tell us, Jake, about so we're talking about somebody getting arrested with large quantity. I'm sure you've gone through this. All right, you're not a novice here. You're a very experienced attorney. Tell us how you were able to help somebody who was caught with a large quantity of drugs. And obviously, we're not condoning walking around with drugs, okay? But certainly everyone has the right to a vigorous defense and to avoid certainly a jail sentence. Tell us how you've helped people in the past.
Sure. So a very interesting case I had was a client who went to the post office and picked up a package from Puerto Rico, and inside that package was 3 kilograms of uncut cocaine. That was
okay. Why? Who sent it to him?
He claimed that he didn't know what was inside it, that a friend asked him to go pick it up at the post office, and then he did it for $20. Okay. So, of course, he testified and said that, but that really wasn't enough for the jury to say, you know what, I don't think he knew what was going on. But the state put up an expert to say, you know what, nobody in the world would have 3 kilograms of cocaine unless they were getting ready to share it with somebody. So this was about my 6th trial with that expert. So I took all my expert reports from him, from his other trials, where he said that dealers need to have scales in their house, where dealers need to have cut in their house, where dealers need to have large quantities of cash so they can get ready to do transactions. And so when they turned the witness over to me for cross-examination, I went through each one of those reports and said, do you remember testifying in this case and offering that opinion? And you said that a dealer would need this, 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 and this. And he said, yes, I said that. And I said, you were under oath. He said, yes, I was under oath. And then I said, in this case, did my client have any cut in his house? No. Did my client have a scale in his house? No. Did he have any cash on him or in his house? No. And so basically, that was the end of it. So and the jury acquitted him.
You used his prior testimony.
From other trials.
Against the expert, to discredit the expert, and he got discredited because he used testimony. He tailored his testimony for your particular client, and in other cases, he tailored his testimony to fit those facts, and you showed, and you absolutely discredited him, and as a result, he got off completely. Not even possessing drugs?
Yes. No, walked out. Walked home. He was facing 20 years because of the quantity.
He was facing 20 years in jail.
Yeah. Yes, and he walked out. He texts me every Thanksgiving and Christmas and thanks me for that he's home. But yeah, he walked out. He walked out that day, crying like a baby, which I think deservedly so.
Yes.
And that was it.
He was looking at 20 years in jail. And then because Jake did a really good job on this trial, he got him off. Now, we're not condoning drug use. We don't know what was in his mind. Perhaps he didn't know what was in that package. We don't know. But what we do know is that people have rights, and if you're going to put somebody in jail for 20 years, you better protect their rights. And in this particular case, the prosecutor was running all over this guy's rights because they put up an expert that was tailoring testimony to fit the facts. And Jake called this expert out on it on cross-examination, did a great job, and every person out there should have Jake's number saved. The telephone number is 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. Jake, excellent job. Excellent job.
Thank you.
Criminal defense
Thank
attorney
you.
here at Spar and Bernstein. Squeeze.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right. So we're gonna come back here for a second. All right.
We almost had to talk about personal injury, but I'll tell you about that later on.
Oh my gosh.
All right?
Oh my gosh.
But all is well. So once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show. That was Jake Hudnut, a criminal defense attorney that can represent you in New Jersey and yes, in New York. Solid dude. Make sure you reach out to Spar and Bernstein. By the way, Brad, did you tell him to save the number?
I did, but I don't know if anybody listened.
Did you tell him how to save the number?
No.
The Brad and Squeeze Show way?
No.
All right, so everybody dial this number right now and let it ring for 10 seconds, and then you hang up and save the number in your phone. The number for the law offices of Spar Bernstein and the Brad and Squeeze Show is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Believe me, Brad's looking to see if anyone's calling, and he gets a little bit curt when you don't call.
You should actually have telephone number saved. Seriously.
I would dial it every day just to let you know I have it.
You know, because, and you know what? People are like, yeah, I got the number. Until something happens, and then they don't have the number. Okay, and the best way to have the number saved is to dial it. You hear Fiona pick up the phone, and you say, hi, Spar Bernstein. That way you know you've got it saved. I always tell everybody, pick up the phone, dial the number, and then hang the phone up, and you have good criminal defense attorneys. You just heard a really good criminal defense attorney who had a client who was looking at 20 years in jail, but because he is a good attorney, was able to cross-examine this witness that the prosecutor put up, just totally discredit this guy, and as a result, his client ended up having no jail time whatsoever. And talking about, you know, in the United States of America, there are so many stories about innocent people who go to jail, people who had ineffective assistance of counsel, people whose lawyers were sleeping. There's stories about people whose lawyers were sleeping in capital murder cases, sleeping at the table. Okay? You have one chance when you go to trial. It's your life.
Yep.
Your life is on the line.
Your life is
and
on the
you
line.
can't put your life in the line of just any lawyer. You can't. You got to put your life. I just had a button fall off. You have to put your life on the line with a really good lawyer who's going to fight for you, who's going to think about ahead of time. Think about ahead of time. What am I going to do to give this guy the best opportunity to win his case, not go away to jail for 20 years? And here's a guy who was caught red-handed with drugs at a FedEx office, looking at 20 years in jail, Squeeze, and as a result of having a good lawyer, it's really the difference between having a good lawyer. You think O.J. Simpson, if he didn't have 6 really good lawyers, he'd still be in jail from the murder. He would never even had a chance to go rob the guy in Las Vegas. He'd still be in jail for the other thing.
You got veins popping
I'm telling you, you need good lawyers. You need them. 1-800.
Always. You always need good.
Correct. Let me give you the number right now. It's
for Spar and Bernstein.
For Spar and Bernstein.
Yeah.
It's 1-800-529-5465. And the best thing you can do is pick up the phone, dial the number, and hang up. And you have really good lawyers saved for life. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Apparently, nobody likes me screaming. They're all telling me to stop already.
More people listen to when you scream.
Right. Although Carol Anderson, the Tiger, says, take a breath, Brad.
I don't know why. It seems like when you scream, we get more viewers.
No, doesn't happen. All right, so Squeeze, we're out of time. We were going to talk to Rebecca.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to her next week. I do have to remind everybody, just as a programming note, that tomorrow Squeeze and I are going fishing. So I got the boat.
The question is, fishing for what?
I got the boat all gassed up.
Yep.
Okay, and Squeeze and I
got the beer.
Yes, Squeeze and I will be going fishing tomorrow in this very cold weather, and we will be going fishing. We're taking the day off. It's kind of like our sabbatical, our yearly fishing trip, right? Don't we always do a yearly fishing trip?
Yes, we do.
Yep.
We did it last year.
Yep.
We're doing it again.
We're doing it again.
Is it marlin we're catching?
We'll catch whatever we need to catch. All right?
I don't want to
just don't catch a cold.
I don't want to catch anything I'm going to keep.
Yeah, just don't catch a cold. Exactly. And don't catch an arrest either, right? Sometimes people are like, I caught an arrest. Right? Right? Don't do that. Yeah. And if you do, you have our telephone number saved.
And if you do catch an arrest, don't cop a deal.
Don't cop a deal. Call us at 1-800-529-5465.
Call Mr. Hudnut.
But we will be off tomorrow.
Yeah.
So today is our last show of the week. We'll be back
always
live.
Call us when we're on the air.
We'll be back.
What?
Yeah,
we're on a TV show and people are calling us in the middle of it.
They're watching us and they say, "Oh yeah, please don't pick up the phone."
Just interrupt the show.
Right. But we'll be back on Monday. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll be back Monday. Take care.
All right. Once again. The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And, of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing?